4th of July stories. Um, what really meant back then, and the stories, what truly the real stories of why we made all the documentations from 1776 after the Revolutionary War. So, all right, the first one is right here. Okay, here we go. So, 4th of July history, Americans Independent Day story and celebration. Independence Day stands as America's most cherished national holiday, making the historical moment when 13 colonists declare their freedom from British rule on July 4th, 1776. This federal celebration combines with patriot with summer festivals and creating a unique blend of historical remembrance and contemporary celebration that defines American culture. Quick facts about the Independence Day. Official name Independence Day. Common name 4th of July. Date July 4th. Annual. Now the year established was 1776 declared, but 1870 unpaid federal holiday, but it got reestablished in 1938 paid federal holiday. Type federal holiday. 2025 observance Friday, July 4th, 2025. Commemorates adoption of the Declaration of Independence, traditional celebration, fireworks parade, barbecues, and picnic. Estimating hot dogs are going to consume 150 million on July 4th alone. Um, so, historical journey to the independence. All our countries and states treason and the road to revolution. So the path of American independence began long before 1776. Throughout the 1760s and early 1770s, tensions between the 13 American colonies and Great Britain escalated dramatically. The colonists faced increasing frustration over British policy, particular taxes without presentation. Key key acts that sparked the colonists' outrage includes the Sugar Act of 1764 imposed duties on imported goods, affecting colony trade and commerce. Following this, the Stamp Act of 1765 requires colonists to purchase a special stamp paper for legal documents, newspapers, and even playing cards. These measures, along with the Townshend Act and Intolerable Act, pushes the colony towards open rebellion. By April 1775, the first shots of the American Revolutionary War were fired at Lexington and Concord. What began as a protest against unfair taxation had evolved into a full-scale war for independence. Yet even then, many colonists still hope for regroup with the British rather than complete separation. The Continental Congress takes action. The Second Continental Congress revenes in Philadelphia on May 1775, initially seeking to address grievances with the British Crown while managing the ongoing conflict. However, as the war progressed and the British intents became clear, a settlement shift towards independence. On June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee of Virginia presented a resolution declaring that these United Colonies are, and of right, out to be free and independent states. This bold proposal set in motion the event that would forever change the world history. Congress appointed a committee of 5 to draft a formal declaration explaining their decision. to the world. Independence Day, July 4th, history and meaning. Now, the British of Nations, July 2nd through the 4th, 1776, contrary to popular beliefs, the most critical vote for independence actually occurred July 2nd, 1776, when the Continental Congress approved Lee's resolution. In the near unanimous vote, New York abstained, but later voted affirmatively. John Adams wrote to his wife, Abigail, that July 2nd will be declared by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival with pomp and parades and games, sports, guns, balls, bonfires, and illumination. However, Congress still need to approve the formal Declaration of Independence document. Congress voted to approve the independence by passing Lee Resolution on July 2nd and adopt the Declaration of Independence 2 days later on July 4th. This 2 day gap explains one of history's great misunderstanding about when America truly declared independence. Well, the Declaration and Creation of and Approval. Now, the committee of five tasked with drafting Declaration, including some of America's most brilliant minds: Thomas Jefferson, primary author, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Jefferson largely wrote the Declaration of Independence in isolation over 17 days between June 11th and 1776 to June 28th, 1776. From the second floor, he was renting in a 3-story private home at 700 Market Street in Philadelphia. It's still Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Then the Congress debate and revised Jefferson's draft, making 86 changes in total. Most notable, they removed Jefferson's commanding of the slave trade, condoning the slave trade, a decision that would have profound implications for Americans' future on 4th of July. Wording was approved and the document was sent to the printer, John Dunlop, who worked through the night to produce approximately 200 copies for passing through all the colonies. The true story of the signing. Now, dispelling the myth. One of the most persistent myths about Independence Day is that all 56 delegates signed the Declaration on July 4th, 1776. In reality, only 2 men, John Hancock and Charles Thompson, signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. The other 54 delegates signed over the course of the next months. Most historians have concluded that the Declaration was signed nearly a month after it was adopted on August 2nd, 1776, and not on July 4th, as commonly we believe. The formal signing ceremony took place when engrossed official handwriting copy and parchment was ready. Some delegates who wasn't present on August 4th added their signature even later, with Thomas McKean possibly not signing until 1781. The price of signing, well, by affixing their name to the document, the signature committing an act of treason against the British Crown, to formally pledge our lives, our fortune, and our scarce honor to the cause of independence. Had the revolution failed to face certain execution, this makes their signature not just historical autograph, but the act of treason court. Now, early Independence Day celebration. The first celebration was 1777. Americans waste no time celebrating their newfound independence. The first organized Independence Day celebration was held in Philadelphia and Boston in 1777. In Philadelphia, the festival includes fireworks, bell ringing. The Philadelphia celebration was partially elaborate, featuring 13-gun salute, one for each state, bell ringing throughout the city, and light dinner for the Continental Congress. Where we go. 1 year later, on July 4th, 1777, Philadelphia marked Independence Day by adjourning Congress and celebrate their bonfires, bells, and fireworks. Ships in the harbor fired a cannon salute, and citizens illuminate their homes with candles, creating a magical atmosphere that will become tradition. Evolution through the centuries. Now, the natures of the Independence Day celebration evolved significantly over the decades. In the early republic, the holidays often had politics overtone. By the mid 1790s, the two politic parties were holding separate uh, petition Independence Day festival in most larger towns. Now, the Federalists and the Democrat Republican each claimed the legacy of the Revolution for their own political purpose. Now, during the 19th century, Independence Day became occasion for grand and grand fashion, patriot speeches. Communities held public reading and declaration, military parade, and Alloy having a lot of picnics. George Washington issued a double ration of rum to all his soldiers to mark the anniversary of independence in 1778, sitting and proceeding for festival celebration. Modern Independence Day tradition, fireworks tradition since the day one. Now, fireworks have been initiated to Independence Day since the very beginning. Americans waste no time to celebrate the first Independence Day on July 4th, 1777, even though the Revolutionary War wouldn't be won until 1783. Those fireworks connected modern celebration direct to those first joyous displays of independence. Today, Americans spend estimate $1 billion annual on 4th of July fireworks. Major cities complete to host the most spectacular display, with New York Macy's fireworks show and Washington, D.C. National Monument celebration drawing hundreds and thousands of spectators, millions of television viewers. Now, parade and community gathering. Now, Independence Day parade remain a cornerstone of celebration in the community across America. These events typically feature local high school marching bands playing patriot music, veteran organization honoring those who serve, float decoration in red, white, and blue, local official and designated uh, government, historical reenactment of the period of custom, and community organization and business. Small town parades often have a charming grassroots quality, while major cities like Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, D.C. host elaborate session that can last for hours. Now, all-American barbecue. Perhaps no tradition is more unusual of served on 4th of July cookout. Americans expect to eat 150 million hot dogs over the July 4th holiday, marking its biggest hot dog consumption. Day of the year and traditional food includes hamburger, hot dogs, barbecue ribs, chicken, corn on the cob, watermelon, potato salad, and coleslaw, and American apple pie, with other patriot desserts. Those gatherings serves a reunion for familiar and family friends, combining patriot observation with the summer issue. Now, common misconception about Independence Day, myth and reality. Several persist. The myth cloud the true history of Independence Day. One myth: the Declaration of Independence wasn't on July 4th. Reality: most delegates didn't actually sign the document until August 2nd. Myth 2: Liberty Bell rang on July 4th. Reality: the State House bell likely didn't ring at all that day. It probably did ring along with the city other bells to herald the first public reading of Declaration of Independence on July 8th. Myth, myth, the myth 3. Oh, I gotta get some more drink. Betsy Ross sewed the first American flag. Reality? No. Proof that Betsy Ross played any part in designing or sewing American flag that made its debut in 1776. Now, myth 4. George Washington signed the Declaration of Independence. Reality, Washington wasn't commanding the Continental Army at that time and was not a member of Congress. July 2nd versus July 4th debate. Now, John Adams believed that July 2nd was the correct date on which the celebration of the birth of American independence, and would reportedly turn down invitation to appear at July 4th. Events and protests. From a technical standpoint, Adams was correct. July 2nd was when Congress voted the independence. However, because July 4th appeared on the print declaration and Dunlop broadside and instituted throughout the colony, it became the date of American Remember celebration. Presidential connections. A remarkable coincidence of 1826. In one history most extraordinary incident, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, the two only people who signed the Declaration of Independence, later to serve as President of the United States, both died on the same day. July 4th, 1826, was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. John Adams' last words were reported about his longtime friend and rival. Through the historical debate, exactly what he said. There is no real evidence to suggest Adams' final thoughts were with Jefferson, or he uttered. Jefferson survived on his deathbed. Ironically, Jefferson had died several hours earlier. Other presidential connections. The date holds special significance for another president as well. James Monroe, the fifth president, died on July 4th, 1831, exactly 5 years after Adams and Jefferson. Calvin Coolidge was born July 4th, 1872, making him the only United States president born on Independence Day. Independence Day in the 21st century. The federal holiday status. Now, Congress established Independence Day as a holiday in 1870 and 1938, but Congress affirmed it as a paid holiday for federal employees. As a federal holiday, government officials, bank, and postal service closed. When July 4th falls on the weekend, the holiday is observed on the nearest weekend, giving the federal employees a day off. America's 250th anniversary approaching. As 2026 approach, preparations are on the way. Some semi-quincentennial America's 205th birthday, a milestone celebration promised to be the largest Independence Day celebration in American history, with a special event planned through the nation's communities already organizing history, educational programs, and community projects to mark this momentous anniversary. Now, contemporary celebration, modern Independence Day celebrate blend traditional elements with contemporary torches. Major cities like Washington, D.C. host the Capitol 4th of July, a free concert at the National Mall, followed by fireworks. New York City, Macy's fireworks display draws millions of viewers. Now, Boston Pop Orchestra performed the 1812 Overture, complete with a cannon fire. Now, Philadelphia holds a festival at Independence Hall where it all began. And the community traditions. Small town parade features local organization reading of Declaration of Independence in a small town. Historical reenactment and living history demonstration. Patriots, concerts, and community picnics. Global observance. Independence Day is celebrate beyond American borders. American military personnel stationed overseas held celebration on their bases worldwide. U.S. embassies host receptions and events um, to foreign delegates. Some international communities with strong American ties hold their own 4th of July festival. The deeper meaning of Independence Day, well, more than fireworks, while modern day celebration often focuses on festivals, Independence Day carries profound meaning and commemorates not just political separation of British, but the birth of revolution ideas about human rights, self-grievance, independent liberty. The Declaration asserts that all men are created equal and unalienable alien rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, including a concept that would inspire Democrats' movement worldwide. A living legacy, well, Independence Day serves an annual reminder of American founding principles and ongoing works of celebration, more perfect union. It provides the opportunity for citizens to reflect on the courage of those who risked everything for freedom, the responsibility of democratic citizenship, and continuing struggle to extend liberty and justice to all. The independence of civil engagement and participation, unity and diversity. In increasingly diversity of America, Independence Day offers unifying moments when citizens of all backgrounds can elaborate their share of national identity. The holiday transcends politics, ethics, and regional division, brings Americans together around common symbols and values. Hold on. Who did we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th instead of July 2nd? Although Continental Congress voted independence on July 2nd, 1776, approval, the final wording and Declaration of Independence July 4th, since this was date printed on the document and copies distributed throughout the colonies, that it became the date American recognized independence. Who actually signed the Declaration of Independence? Well, only John Hancock, and as the President of Congress, and Charles Thompson, Secretary, signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. The famous parchment copy with all 56 wasn't created until later, with the most delicate signing on August 2nd, 1776. Let's see here. Gotta go back. It sounds like it. I think so. In conclusion, Independence Day remains America's quality national holiday, combining historical commonwealth with contemporary celebration. From its region and courage action of the founding fathers to modern day fireworks and family gatherings, July 4th continues to unite Americans in remembering their share of heritage values. As approach America's 250th birthday in 2026, Independence Day will take renewed satisfactory. It reminds us that the work of building democratic society is ongoing, requiring each generation to uphold and expand the freedom declared on the historical July day in 1776. Rather celebrate the grand fireworks or simply backyard barbecue, Independence Day connects Americans to their past while inspiring hope for the future. True spirit of Independence Day lies not in the spectacular celebration, but the enduring principle it represents, that the government deserves its power from the consent of government, that individuals possess inherent right, and that people have the capability to govern themselves. Those revolutionary ideas first proclaimed to the war on July 4th, 1776, continue to inspire those who seek freedom and self-determination around the globe. Well, there you go. So I will talk to you guys all later. Bye now.